Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog and welcome to another car review. This time being another EV. I'm doing more and more of these days, and I find myself in a Kia EV6. Now I have to say, you're probably wondering why I'm in one. Well, at the end of the day, a lot more cars are going electric and a lot more cars are becoming EV. So look, we have to do more and more of these reviews, and actually if we are going to do them, we are trying to stay with the top the range toppers, ones that have got good range and ones that have good powerful kind of motors in them. This one obviously is exactly that. All-wheel drive, 321 horsepower, a combined range of about 300 miles. Urban, you can, if you drive carefully, you can get this up near the 400s, but combined cycle, this is about 300-mile range. Like I say, 321 brake horsepower. In kilowatts, I'm not sure what that is, but it's a lot of horsepower, and I think there's a lot of torque as well, obviously being an EV. And yeah, 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, so it should be a pretty damn quick car. So yeah, without further ado, let's just slow it down and then let's get punch roll. Jeez, it goes really well. Yeah, as you'd expect, a lot of these EV cars are getting faster and faster by the day, and yeah, one with a battery, a 77 kilowatt hour battery, is going to be no exception to that. Yeah, so like I say, I find myself in this Kia EV6. One, because actually some EVs are getting a bit more and more fun by the day, and two, I actually really like the look of this car. It looks quite sporty, but yet quite sleek as well. And like I say, these EVs have been really surprising me. So I just want to see, as a viable kind of option for company car tax owners or company car owners, is this a good prospect? Well, obviously these are 2% on a big company car tax value, so it means that it's going to cost you very little. Obviously links in the bio to everything in the tech spec. If I do miss anything, by all means hit us up in the comment section and ask us any questions and we'll be sure to answer you. But yeah, it is going to be basically much better on the pocket than a current diesel. It is what the government's doing. They are putting you and basically into a corner, I think, and making us go EV. That being said, obviously there are lots of advantages with going EV, and one is definitely the company car tax. For example, I run a number of cars, and one of my cars I do drive a lot in is a Volvo, believe it or not, a D4 R design. You don't see it much on the channel, because I don't want to say it's boring, it's a decent car, but that costs me about £250 in company car tax. Basically I get £250 taken off my essentially my earnings, and yeah, that's a lot of money per month. I remember when I first had it, it used to be about £60, and just year by year it just kept going up and up and up. EVs, I think these EVs in company car tax, depending on your BIC allowance, and I don't understand all that, and your company car BIC rate, it costs a certain amount of money. I remember looking at a Tesla Model 3, and the BIC and P11D value meant that I think I would pay about £7 or £9 in company car tax per month. So I would be better off by about £230-ish per month getting rid of my Volvo and getting an EV. Hence, I am actually looking at one at the moment, and this is one of the ones that is on my kind of list. If I can kind of I suppose believe that you know, paying 52 grand, which this car is a worthwhile prospect. That is quite a lot of money to stump up. That being said, for a car that has a big kilowatt output, that still is fun and has a good dynamic range, or a good range, you always need to pay I find between 40 and 50, and normally between 45 and 50,000 pounds. So this is a top of the range model. It's a GT line model. So it is, like I say, top of the range, all-wheel drive GT line, which means that it is about £52,000 on the road, this one. There is tax incentives from the government, and they will give you can get some good benefits. Again, links in the bio to that, and there's good reason why, offsetted from a typical cost of running a normal car. It's actually not that bad in the bigger picture, but it is quite a lot of money to stump up. Whether that's through a business and through a monthly allowance, it's still going to be a lot of money to stump up. Just as I'm going along and turning in, I noticed that this one has almost like a blind spot assistance video that comes on here on the front dash, and this is a gorgeous wraparound, huge display, LCD, really crystal clear display, and it is absolutely beautiful. And this is a nice little place to be, simple enough, little kind of like mild bucket seat, but very, very comfortable. The suspension is really, really good, and in general it looks really, really nice inside and definitely outside as well. I think it's actually a really stunning looking SUV car. I think it's really, really nice. I do love the look of it, and yeah, how does it drive is the key thing. So I'm going around at a reasonable rate, and I'm here at Millbrook testing grounds, and we have a really mad little kind of darty, undulating, cambered, casted road, and this is doing really, really well to keep everything in check. Body roll is kept to a minimum. The chassis is really, really good. What's the brakes like? It has that kind of regenerative auto braking, so it puts brake force in when you kind of let off the accelerator and regens battery life. But the chassis is really good. Brakes are really good. Nice biting point up nice and high. Steering weight is decent. It's not too light. And it's bloody, it goes well, I tell you. The grip is phenomenal. Brakes are really, really good. Let's turn in on this hairpin. See how the front end, really good actually. Very little body roll. Fun little chassis. That's really good, really, really good. Dynamically well balanced, no understeer, no oversteer. It's kind of quite neutral, but it's got a fun, like I say, I'm hacking into this corner, and this is a big car, but it doesn't feel it. Hides that weight very, very well, and I say it moves around. It moves its chassis really dynamically, and it's quick. It's comfortable, it's quick, it's got a nice steering input, nice steering weight, lovely brake force distribution, lovely brake bias and modulation and feel, nice, decent steering communication. How's it go over the top of this brow? Really, really good in check. Dampening, really nicely done. And it exits corners really, really well. Obviously EV, so it's electric. You get on the power and it goes, and you get the power straight away. And it really is quite good actually. Again, it surprised me. These EVs have really come on, and I think they've had a lot of development done on them. And this, you know, this is a Kia, but I have to say, in days of old, it was very different. It was very basic in here, but there's some lovely brushed, even faux brushed aluminium, but some really nice quality plastics in here. And in general, it's a really nice place to be, and it does feel relatively premium. It does feel like a £50,000 car, inside and out, definitely. If anything, it maybe feels a little bit more than that. And I'll be honest, I'm not a badge snob, but I am surprised because it is a Kia. But these cars are coming on no end, and I think they're that good now that I think you can forget and not worry about the fact that it used to be maybe a budget brand car. because I don't think it is anymore. I mean, certainly that price isn't budget anymore, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, EVs with that kind of range, with this kind of motor, will be that kind of price. But you probably would still think that if you had something like a Kia, it may be a little bit less dynamic and fun, or good in general in the cabin feel and then on the levers and everything, to a higher end brand or something that's more established. But it definitely doesn't. I mean, this comes with a great warranty as standard, lovely flat bottom steering wheel, lovely leather steering wheel out the factory, and this GT line for me is the one to get. All-wheel drive, so good. And the chassis, like I say, you get a little bit of body roll, but nothing much. And the tyres, they just hang on, and the chassis just, it can transition really, really well. You can go from a left fast sweep, and then all of a sudden an old terrible chassis would struggle to then transition into the left, but it's doing that just so well, actually. And it's quick, as quick as you need it to be. It's perfect for the chassis. Let's see what it's like around this tight hairpin. It's so good, absolutely brilliant. I'll let the driving do the talking. It's absolutely superb, very decent. Well, beyond decent, it's great. It's a really good handling car for its size and the weight. For me, it's bloody brilliant. It really is. And it's good fun, actually. And it surprised me a hell of a lot. But I would happily daily something like this and enjoy it. I mean, yeah, EVs have come on so much. That's all I'll say. Another thing that is worth noting is actually the layout of everything in this car. It just seems really functional. Things are where they should be. Things like just as simple as like window switches and things like that, and the wing mirrors and things like that. A lot of other EVs, they're hidden within sub-menus, and they're just simple things. It's like, come on, just give me it in a decent place. But Kia have actually really thought about everything, even from the dial to where you kind of put the drive, you know, where you put it in drive, neutral and reverse. Nice, just right near your hand where you want it to be. And then the other kind of things on the touch menu, like your kind of fan control, is all on a center part in the center console, just underneath the big screen, and it's all really clear, concise, and it's understandable, and you know where everything is. I really like how they've laid everything out, and sometimes simple is better, even if you have an EV and it's sci-fi and modern and, you know, ahead of the you know, the curve, or meant to look really modern. I like the fact that they've kept things like that nice and simple. They really are good now, and these manufacturers are sorting these chassis really well. And as long as these manufacturers keep these nice and reliable, which we don't know yet, but they come with great warranties, then you're going to be quids in, and it's a great prospect in my opinion. And rest assured, you can have a lot of fun in a car like this and it still do everything it needs to do. I mean, look at the size of it and the practicality of something like this. Second to none. Really good. So yeah, that brings me to the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, share, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.